You wanted to know what an expert thought, and you went and asked Mike Israetel. He has a PhD, but he's certainly not a freaking doctor. And so we got Mike Israetel. All right, what's he gonna say?
Greg Doucette, who is a two-faced, lying sociopath sucker. Print that.
Are we talking about Mike Israetel today?
Do you think he actually hates you?
Oh, he absolutely hates me.
If I see him in real life, I might take something from him medical science can't give him back.
Mike Israetel and Greg Doucette have been two of my favorite fitness YouTubers for a while now. They're basically my YouTube dads.
Oh my god, bro. Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man?
Hey, if Jesse can have Ronnie Coleman as his dad,
Dad! It's like father, like son!
I can at least have Greg and Mike as mine. These two have been bickering for a while, and what started as a small disagreement has evolved into Greg taking shots at Mike in nearly every video.
Mike Israetel says, no, it's not a choice. Now remember, Mike Israetel is the type of guy that pulls out of his boyfriend and comes all over his stomach. And so Mike clearly getting a lot of pleasure from having something of Coach Greg inside of his mouth.
Keep in mind, Greg uploads 2 videos a day. So how did this start? They first showed their differing opinions in 2019 when Greg made a commentary video on Athlean X and Jeff Nippard's opinions on the importance of training volume to muscle growth.
What's the minimum effective volume? What is the max intensity? What is RPE?
Stop all the scientific mumbo jumbo. Train harder, harder. When you cannot lift 10% as much as you could on the previous set, that means you're done.
Mike Israetel then commented on that video in an interview he had with Steve DeVos. I don't know how to say that. Steve DeVos.
I'm pretty sure I saw the entire video by Greg. He never actually answers the question of how much. He just says go harder and he yells a lot, which is funny, but it's precious little to learn from that other than go hard. And he may have very good critique that people just need to train fucking harder because they're straight bitches out here. And they may very well be true. Some people it's true, some people it's not. It's definitely true for a lot of people. But even once you know, okay, I'm fucking training hard, do you do 3 hard sets? Do you do 6? Do you do 9?
Their disagreement was based on differing training philosophies. Greg believed in focusing on training harder than last time instead of being too sciencey, while Mike advocated for a more scientific approach with metrics and structured training. Mike and Greg continued to disagree with each other in their videos until they finally had an online interview in 2020, hosted by Omal Suf. I don't know, these names are confusing. Surprisingly, Greg was calm and collected during the debate.
That 20%, that's going to be a lot. That's going to be too much training.
Okay.
So you could argue all day. Maybe it's
that's
11
why we're here.
Or 12. Like, what percent do you think? I'm open to saying what you think.
I don't think the percent-based rule has any validation. I think 10% is rather arbitrary. It's misapplied from a completely different area of study. You know, for somebody like myself, the 10% rule would guarantee that on almost every exercise I do only 2 working sets because, like, I squatted high.
I did you should do more. But that's
okay.
Especially considering his usual blunt and direct style, where he often says stuff like,
crybaby, frig off, just shut up, you natural pussies.
They would continue to have a couple more debates on their training philosophies, but it was nothing too controversial. That all changed around the time of the 2023 Mr. Olympia, where the two first met face to face.
Alright guys, I'm here with Greg Doucette, Coach Greg.
Harder than last time.
How are you, buddy?
I'm doing fantastic.
That's awesome.
How do you like the impression? Is he doing good?
Apparently, Mike took off right after and in a way refused to talk to Greg, and Greg has made it known that he was uncomfortable with how the interview was conducted.
He ambushed me at the Olympia and he makes fun of my voice. He's doing a whole thing.
Yeah.
Like, hey, it's for the views. It's cool. So I'm game. I'm going on with and laughing. And then as soon as the camera stopped, I'm like trying to talk to him, and now he takes off. And I'm like, I thought we were gonna have a good chat. Like.
From there, Greg then started making more videos about Mike Israetel, mostly in relation to Mike chasing his pro card and why this was a bad idea for his health. Mike then eventually decided to retire from bodybuilding, and as usual, Greg made videos about this too. And in true Greg fashion, he stirred up controversy, making fun of Mike Israetel, mocking him for blaming his tan for his last bodybuilding failure, when he really just wasn't in good enough shape.
After getting into objectively the best shape of my life, I placed out of the top 5 at my most recent show. In large part, sort of hilariously, because of insufficient tanning. It wasn't the tan. It wasn't the tan. I'm sorry, telling you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear.
It also doesn't help that Mike released this video, where he is apparently letting out his anger in the gym. And Greg Doucette had and still is having a field day with it. On August 13th, 2024, Zach Talander uploaded a video titled Why Mike Israetel Hates Greg Doucette. In this video, Mike Israetel referenced the first debate he had with Greg Doucette in 2020 and outright called Greg a
two-faced, lying sociopath sucker.
Just 3 days later, Greg responded, and to my surprise, he had a very calm, level-headed response.
And so, a sociopath. How would you know if I'm a sociopath or not? And so let me have an open mind. Let's say I'm a sociopath. How would you, Mike, know that I am? We've interacted once in person ever.
I was expecting him to be taking shots at Mike Israetel, calling him names, but the most offensive thing he probably said was saying Mike looks similar to the Thing, because they are both stocky and strong.
Because I do believe Mike is the Thing, the guy that was the big rock, the rock guy. Does he not look a little bit like Mike Israetel? No, it's very heavy, stocky, strong looking guy. Resemblance to me is there. Maybe it's not.
Greg didn't remain calm from then on, however, as he would continue to make tons of videos on Mike Israetel, sometimes taking shots at him, sometimes trying to give him advice, mixing drama with good information like he usually does. Mike would also make some videos where he mentions Greg, like when he reviewed Greg's CICO bar and criticized it for what seemed to be false advertising.
The CICO bar from HTLT. Harder than last time. This is Greg Doucette's bar.
Yep.
Yeah. It's a bar that's neither shaped. This is a square-shaped bar, a rectangularly shaped bar. It's neither shaped like it's illustrated on the cover, nor does it have the outer creamy, milky, crisp, caramely looking bullshit and the hard on the inside. It's all just one homogeneous thing. As is typical, Greg does something just fine and then lies extra for no reason about it. Thank you, Greg.
Greg has been making fun of Mike in basically every video of his now, and apparently wants Mike to apologize to him for spreading lies about him. Maybe then he will finally stop making fun of Mike and the beef will end. So, who's right in this fiery beef? Is it Mike or is it Greg? While I certainly have an opinion on this, I don't think it's productive for me to share it, because the bottom line is it doesn't matter who's right. These two are some of the most helpful people who have made such a big impact in the fitness community. If you want to learn about working out and dieting without getting too sciencey about it, Coach Greg is your guy. If you want to know more about the science of working out and getting into the minute details, Mike is your guy.
And it's leg day, bitches! Woo!
You could be like me and watch both of them. Then you realize that these guys actually agree on most things. Even Greg has said so.
I would say 95% of the things that Mike says, we both agree on. Shockingly, we almost agree on everything.
It's sad to watch them bicker and fight on social media like this, even though it ultimately helps them both to make money. This is actually why Coach Greg continues to stir up this controversy in every single video, and also why Mike Israetel continues to mention Greg in podcasts and interviews. In the end, our YouTube dads may be fighting, but they are making more money from it, and their differences do not take away from the fact that the fitness space is a better place because of them. So instead of taking sides, I see it better to just appreciate their presence, because it's a net positive to the community. I hope you liked the video. Please subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to get to 10,000 subscribers and I need your help to achieve that. I'll see you in the next video, and remember to stay natural.